Hello, listeners. I have an announcement to make about the Wall of Silence podcast. As a disclaimer, I need to make clear this is not an episode, but instead an announcement. With some additions and revisions, this same announcement was posted on my Twitter account on June 19th, 2024. You can find the link to that in the show notes or go to my account at the tag PostConsumerChris. Here is the announcement. My bishop, Alberto Morales of the Diocese of Quincy, has asked me to pause the podcast. He has informed me there are those at the provincial level of the ACNA who want the podcast eliminated immediately. So yes, in this moment, the Wall of Silence is being silenced. There is other information I hope to share in the coming weeks, after finding time to meet with my bishop, gain more information and understanding, and then decide what I will do next. To repeat, I have been told there are those who want the Wall of Silence eliminated, and my bishop has asked me to pause. For now, I am deeply sorry to listeners and supporters of the podcast, truly. Especially those wanting to hear part 2 of Joanna Rudenborg's story, along with the many other survivor and advocate stories we have planned. Again, I apologize. Last weekend, a new ACNA Archbishop was elected, the Right Reverend Steve Wood, current Bishop of the Diocese of the Carolinas. And this week, from June 25th through 28th, is our Provincial Assembly where proposed changes to the Constitution and canons will be voted on. Therefore, everyone is currently busy, and I won't know much more until after my bishop returns. However, if you are concerned about this announcement, feel free to contact your church leaders and address it with them, or take to social media and raise your own awareness about it. Since this is not an actual episode of the podcast, but instead very much an announcement, one I decided that I owe to my listeners who may not be aware of what is happening, especially those of you not active on social media, I thought I would take this opportunity to turn it into something of a radio hour. The Wall of Silence musical edition, so to speak. So, if you keep on listening to the end, I hope you enjoy these songs. Of the songs you will hear, it's worth noting the first is not written or recorded by me, but instead by Ben, the 16-year-old son of one of the ACNA 2 members. This is a young man who's watched the mishandling of abuse cases play out over the past 3 years. He has met many survivors and advocates personally, and he's been so disappointed and disillusioned to watch clergy remain silent, or worse, work against survivors and their advocates. This song is his response to everything he's seen. It's short, but it makes me think that a good protest song is still something we very much need in the present day. A good protest song can work its way into our hearts and inspire us to make some kind of change. Protest songs can start movements we look back on and say, wow, look at what one little song did. Called Purple Door, it's a potentially difficult song to hear, especially if you are ordained clergy or any kind of leader in the ACNA, as am I. In this instance, I stand as the clergy, having the finger pointed at me. What will we do? Will we listen to their stories, or will we continue to silence them? What path will we choose? Here's one thing I know. The younger generation is watching us. They are seeing our action or inaction in response to abuse and mishandling in our churches and taking note. What examples are we setting for them? Are we showing them a more excellent way? Or instead choosing a sorrowful path they will come to speak against as they grow up and come to their own positions of authority? One thing to note about the Purple Door is that in the beginning you will hear a kind of cardiac arrest emergency portrayed. And I was told this is meant to point to survivors whose faith in a good God has been destroyed by the injustice of their plights and the neglect and attacks of those whom they trusted as good shepherds.
take all of your stories and they'll send you far away. They'll only try to help you if you can help them too. So keep all of your stories, they don't care about you. Da da da, da da da, da da da.
This second set of songs features music already heard in the podcast, including a couple of settings of the theme song, which is my version of For All the Saints, and then closing with the song Shattered into a Million Pieces, which you heard on Joanna Rudenborg's episode. Thanks for listening.